So, hey guys, this is the update I didn't want to make because it sucks. So last time we were talking about this thing where the handle has been put on the wrong way, kind of askew, not perfectly centered. I made a mistake. And I did try to, what do you call that? To burn it off by heating up the part of the ricasso. And as you can see here, right, like I actually burned through the guard. At a certain point, I was just whatever, burn through the guard. We can put on a new guard, whatever. And even then, it didn't really work. Now, if I go in here, right, but where they kind of meet together, something interesting is happening. You can actually kind of scratch at the epoxy and it is turning into powder, right? So this is telling me that this thing, the idea was working. The heat was making the epoxy break down, but I looked at the epoxy label, and this is some kind of high heat epoxy. It goes up to 300 degrees. So I'm willing to bet what's happened is the epoxy has degraded to around this much, while the rest of the tang is still holding on with the epoxy, right? And what does that mean? That means there's not enough heat traveling down the handle to break it down. So I'm just not putting in enough heat. And if I put more heat here, I'm afraid I'm gonna end up ruining the heat treatment. So now we go to the unfortunate part. Um, what are the solutions? Solution number one is I buy an induction forge, and the cool thing about an induction forge is it will only heat up the metal, right? And it will heat up this thing, and I could probably pop it out easy peasy, no problem, without even worrying about the heat treatment affecting the ricasso and everything. But that is like 2 grand for a small one, and I'm not even sure if I might need an even bigger one. So that's about 5,000 pesos or something. It'd be nice to have one in the shop, but no, it's a bit pricey. I'm not gonna do that right now. Which leaves me with the only real choice, which is I am going to have to chisel it out, right? I I really agonized over doing that, whether or not I should do that. But yeah, it's gotten to the point. If that's the only solution, I have to chisel out the handle. So what does that mean? That means this horn handle. I'm not saying it's gone. I'm not. I don't. I'm gonna keep it around. I think at the bare minimum, I'd still be able to use it for foam swords. But that does mean that this thing will have to be fitted with a new handle and everything. And this is the point of any project. So if any of you guys have ever made a project on your own, yeah, this is the worst part. This is the part where stuff goes wrong. Instead of speeding up, accidents happen and you have to slow down, and that's the worst of it. So yeah, I am going to take out the Dremel head, and I'm gonna use the what do you call this? I'm gonna use the drill just to carve out the buffalo horn on one side, just so I could. Is it obvious from here? Yeah. Anyway, um, so that will be fine. All right. So that's the update for now. Hopefully, I'll be able to do stuff really quickly this week. Because it is, I'm on a roll. I feel, but It's little problems like this that kind of block you. So anyway, the way I'm gonna do it is, yeah, I'm probably gonna use a Dremel head. Oh, which reminds me. I have one of these cutting Dremel heads that you can use to cut wood. Anyway, that's probably what I'm going to use for this one. Oh, here. This is a strange one. So I have one of these cutting Dremel heads, and this is what I'm going to use to try to cut it out. It should be interesting. Ugh. Why did I use that? So hopefully this will be a nice little thing. Cut through the thing with the thing. It should be fine. Alright, so that's it for the update for now. So have a good day, guys. I hope I have better news next time.